Hello everyone, this is Alapack here. Welcome back to Alapack Sports. Today we have a very quick video, maybe 8-10 minutes long, don't know. We'll see how it is by the end of the video. But we are talking about a few topics today that's making its rounds. One major one being that the preseason rankings of the coaches poll has officially released. And shockingly, but I think expected, Florida is ranked in that poll. On top of that, we got there's rumors and talks across training camp that the players are training in a way that is of an established culture, a certain type of culture, and that is a championship culture. Even though we haven't won a championship in a while, they are trying to train and be as good as a champion, meaning they want a championship. They are trying to vie for a championship. So there's a culture that's already been established there. We're seeing the inklings of it happening. And on top of that, the final thing I want to talk about today, I know there's probably other stuff that might come about, but I'll get to that whenever we get to the next one. Rivals list. Rival has a list of players that they're going through and they're ranking them. Preseason Harvin is number 4. I will share my thoughts on that in this episode. So let's get into this. Preseason rankings. Preseason rankings. Always a topic of discussion. Every time you turn around, they're always a topic of discussion. And this year's preseason rankings are the coaches poll. I think there's like one other. It hasn't released yet, but the coaches poll has dropped. And the rankings are weird because you have about, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 SEC teams in the top 25. 9 out of, I think, 16. That's a lot. So let me go through here. Let's go through the polls or the rankings real quick. Number 1, obvious, Texas. Everybody's so high on them every single time. Obvious, they think Texas is number 1. Number 2, Ohio State, which confuses me a little bit because Ohio State was the national champions of last year. So why weren't they number 1? Because Texas lost early on. Like very, very early on. So I don't know why they don't have them as number 1. But it's the coaches poll. So it's pretty much a group of coaches put in their picks. And it goes through every coach and stacks up the amount of votes for it. And they put them in the rankings. So that's how it usually goes. Number 3, Penn State. Usual. Penn State's almost always in top 5. They never ever get to 9 though, but hey. Georgia, number 4. Figures Georgia's up there too. Notre Dame. It's been a while since they were in the top 10. I ain't gonna lie. There was a point there that they really did really bad. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago. Because I had a boss who was a Notre Dame fan. And he was upset at how bad their season went. I'm surprised they got brought back up. So number 6, Clemson Tigers. Actually really shocking because I never really see Clemson up here that often. So there's some people very high on them. Oregon Ducks usually in the top 4, top 5. Alabama, same thing, except they don't have Nick Saban anymore. They do have DeBoer, but DeBoer is seeming more like a really good coach. Not Nick Saban level coach, but he's a good coach. Now here's my problem with the next 2. LSU. LSU is a very interesting case because they do have a returning quarterback in Nussmeier. But Nussmeier is prone to a lot of picks and stuff. He is a good QB. I gotta admit, he is a good QB, but he's not a great QB. He will not be like Cam Ward. He won't be like Joe Burrow. There's hype on them being up there, and I know there was like one person saying, I think, yeah, JD Pickett or Pickell, whatever his name is. He predicted LSU to win the SEC championship and the national championship this year. Far cry of what I think they're going to do. So number 9, being number 9, I get the hype. So they are placed where they should be in height wise. But will that actually play out? We'll see by week 3. If they could beat Florida, then I'll believe the hype. Number 10. Miami. But this is a Miami team that is without Cam Ward. Yes, y'all got Carson Beck. But Carson Beck is a picking machine. He throws picks left and right. And he has a really bad elbow at the moment. But I do admit y'all have some players on there that's probably going to give a lot of people fits. But like I said, you don't have Cam Ward. He was your back. He was y'all's fail-safe. Cam Ward was always your fail-safe. In close games, he was always your fail-safe. You don't have him anymore. You got Carson Beck. And yeah, I admit Carson Beck, like I said, I admit Carson Beck's got proven, is a proven commodity, but I don't see it happening. Them being top 10 is ridiculous. They didn't even win their ACC championship. They never even went to the playoffs. So them being in here is just stupid, and I don't believe it. And that's just straight up. Yeah, they could be top 25, but not top 10. That's bull. That's so bull. That may be my Gators side coming up, but that's just the truth. You can talk to anybody that ain't a Miami fan, they'll say the same thing. Arizona State Sun Devils, never usually watch them play. I would love to start watching other teams play. The Defiant Alumni? How are they above South Carolina? Like, what was the last really good game did the Alumni ever have? I don't know about that. Okay. Number 13, South Carolina Gamecocks. Very high on them. Apparently, they're higher on Nussmeier than Sillers. Weird. But South Carolina's number 13. Number 14, Michigan. Now, that is shocking because Michigan's usually in the top 5. Almost always. But no, I know that the coach left after winning that national championship, and the program has taken a bit of a step back. But them being that low ranked is a bit troublesome. But hey, Ole Miss, there, yes, I can admit they're good. We did beat them at our home, but Lane Kiffin ain't anybody to scoff at. He's a really good coach. So they are pretty much practically right place to be put. Number 16, SMU Mustangs. I don't think I've ever watched SMU play either, but I trust where they're placed at. They must have done something that truly allowed them to have that spot in the eyes of the coaches. Then we got number 17, our team, my whole channel is based off them, the Florida Gators. Now, if you would told me last year after the Texas A&M game that, oh, y'all will go 8-5, and this year will be hyped up as a possible 10+ win season and a possible playoff, I would have said, no, Billy's gonna get fired, and we're gonna be right back at where we began. And hopefully we got Lane Kiffin. That was what I said. But to be here now, and to see this preseason poll and seeing the hype around Florida once again being relit, I'm excited. But sadly, I'm not happy with the placement of Florida on here. No, and I'm not saying they should be higher. No. I genuinely believe Florida should remain unranked. We should remain unranked to fuel the fire of animosity that our team should have against the media, who are constantly belittling the Florida program. And I would rather have the Gators unranked than to be ranked, so they don't have to be focused on the rankings and actually focus on the games themselves. But we will see what happens. I think I saw another poll that has them at 15. So I'm guessing around 15 and 17 area is going to be where Florida's going to be ranked at this year. So it is what it is. That's how they have it. Guess they're hyped up as well. It also means we have a really good chance at the playoffs. Because look, if you're looking at this schedule, Florida has already. I can see already 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me see. 5, 6, 7. 7 games? 7 games on here are ranked games for us. Starting off with number 9 LSU. If we end up going to LSU's home field and winning and they're still ranked, that will trajectory us probably to the top 10. If they're still up in the top 10. If LSU doesn't lose their very first game of the season. That would launch Florida to the top 10. Easily. And then you got Miami, if they're still top 10, which I don't think they will be, but that's just opinion of mine. Y'all can have your own opinion. If they're still top 10, that will also help it as well if we win against them. So overall, Florida has 7 top 10 or top 25 teams that are on here. Number 18, the Tennessee Volunteers. I don't like Tennessee. My mother is a Tennessee fan. I really don't like them. My grandfather and my grandmother was a Tennessee fan. And the sole reason why I chose Florida back when I first started watching college football was out of spite for Tennessee. And over time, I have grown to love Florida, and very much so in like the past 7 or 8 years, I've grown to love them even way more than I usually did. But Tennessee being up there, they do belong. They did have like a 10+ win season, so kind of admit that's fair. But I love that they're right behind us. Suck it, Vols. Anyways, onwards, Indiana Hoosiers are 19. Kansas State is 20. Texas A&M 21. Seems like they're not that hyped up on A&M as I thought. And yeah, of course, A&M has a really good QB, but we'll have to see what the season looks like. Then we got Iowa State Cyclones, BYU Cougars, Texas Tech Red Raiders, and Boise State Broncos. So that rounds out your preseason top 25 for Coaches Bowl. This is subject to change. This right here ain't the final product at all. Like, this is subject to change entirely from now until the season starts. So let's say Florida's DJ Lagway gets really hurt and can't play. Oh, I'm pretty sure Florida's going to drop out of the top 25. Like right there and then. They will not have us up there. This is basically based on the hype around the programs and what they possibly see where they are going to be at starting the season, which is great. And I don't mind it, to be honest. I really don't mind it. Alrighty. On to the next thing, championship culture. There is murmurs and talks in practice. And if I can bring up the tweet. There was a tweet that alright. There was a tweet that was posted by Dylan Olive, who is a UF fan, UF Gator insider, and he says the intention of coming here is to win championships. If you got Locker down there, you got talent, but it's about doing all the things that require no talent. Gators building a championship competitiveness in the fall camp. So the murmurs and talks around Florida's fall camp are starting to fully light up, and they started well into the beginning of last week. That this fall camp is different than the rest. A lot of, especially when you go back to even media day, Sapp was telling the interviewers that he was going to push the O-lines to the point where they regret or even they don't like to come to practice. That's the mindset we needed to win championships. You see how Georgia does it? Like, Georgia's mindset is constantly think they're doubting us And if we do that, we'll constantly do our best. And that's what Kirby Smarts instills in the Georgia fans, or not fans, the players, is that doubt. Like, they're constantly doubting us every time they turn around, constantly doubting us. We're not good enough and all that. That's what Florida's starting to do now. Florida's starting to get to that point where they are competing in the fall camp like it is an actual game. Like it's actually on the line. Like we're trying to get to a championship. Which, by all means, if we get to that championship this year, either SEC or national, the talk I'm going to be talking is going to be nuts. And that's if we go. There's a chance we could not, but you never know any given Saturday. So, the culture that has been established by Billy is starting to be bore fruit now and starting to be brought to light on how the players are now acting and how they're actually taking things going forward, which is awesome. I love it. I love that this is happening, because compared to what Mullen had at the end of his tenure and the start of Billy Neighbors' tenure, this is a whole 180 degrees. Back then, yeah, fuck, they gave up. They gave up a lot. They didn't even want to practice much. But now, like, dude, they're into it. They're locked in. They're constantly improving themselves. Constantly. So, that excites me on that aspect. But this also excites me on the aspect that this is hypothetical. I'm not saying Florida's going to be the next fucking dynasty, because I know y'all are going to be typing away on that keyboard of yours. But is there a possibility that Florida is the next dynasty? Is there a dynasty being built at Florida? There's a possibility. I'm not saying there isn't or is not. There is a possibility that there's one. And I know it takes a while for some coaches to actually get into a groove and get on a run. And that seems like what Billy is getting on right now. After 3 or 4 years of building up and slowly building up and building up, this year and to next year most likely will be the years that's going to really, really pay off. And will tell us, what us Florida fans, what our future is going to be for the future. Either he's going to crash or burn, or this thing's going to end up kicking off and we're going to end up becoming the next dynasty. And the reason why I say that is going back to the culture that he established. This is becoming a culture of champions. If they can build this up and continue onward and actually start winning championships, then we can definitely see something special here in Gainesville, or there in Gainesville. And that's overall really exciting. All right, on to the final thing of this entire video, which this video has been going on for a while. Rivals list, going to be real quick, a little bit extra. They did a list of like all-time players, I think. And Harvin was placed Percy Harvin, our lovely running back, was placed number 4 on the list. And I get it, he's not number 1, but it's a bit disrespectful to him. But I kind of get it. And I know a lot of Florida fans will be like, that's just wrong. That's not right. But you gotta admit, there's other players that probably are a little bit better than him. And you cannot always have a Florida Gator always on top. So, yeah. That's what I just want to put my 2 cents on that one. So, with that, I'm going to end this off with a little spiel. We have 27 days until season starts. 27 more days. Fall camp's ramping up. News is getting out there. Excitement's getting in the air. The fans are trolling ever so more. And this is starting to feel like the start of a new season. College football is about to become in full swing. And we are ready. I am ready. This has been Alapack Sports. Love you all. Goodbye, y'all. Signing out.